What's up guys, I'm Kelly from A Side of Sweet and I'm really excited for today's recipe. I am going to show you how to make these super beautiful, really healthy matcha lattes. I've been trying to drink a lot more matcha tea recently instead of my usual pot and a half of coffee, which is how I normally start my day. You know, matcha is packed with antioxidants, it's got vitamins and chlorophyll. It has a natural caffeine boost, but it helps keep you focused and it doesn't kind of have that big come down like drinking a bunch of coffee does. You can feel really good about drinking it, and you know what, there's something really nice about preparing it at home. I think it's kind of like a moment of zen almost. I'm going to show you how to do it all step by step, including whisking your own matcha, which is much easier and less intimidating than it sounds. So without further ado, let's get into the recipe. So what you're going to need to make these lattes is super simple. Two things: matcha powder and milk, and that's it. Things to think about when you're picking a matcha powder: it's really important to get a high quality matcha powder. There are all kinds of different grades. There's ceremonial grade, which is the most expensive and probably not needed for a latte like this. Instead, I would focus on getting a culinary grade, but a really high quality. So look for that green grassy smell and the vibrant green color, and that'll help you make sure that you're getting something that's appropriate for drinking and not for cooking. And the first step is you're going to whisk your matcha in a small bowl. So you have to get your bowl ready by heating it. This will help prevent the matcha from clumping as you're whisking it. You just fill your bowl up, and then you're just going to let it sit for a few minutes so that the surface of the bowl gets heated. All right, so now I'm going to dump this out. And then the next step is to make sure that the bowl is completely dry. Any remaining wet spots from heating the bowl are going to make it so that the matcha sticks, which you absolutely don't want. All right, so super dry. Now it's time to sift your matcha. So you need a little fine mesh strainer, put it over your bowl. And then for one latte, I use about a teaspoon of matcha powder. If you're using the traditional scoops, then it is about 2 scoops. Sifting the matcha first before you use it is going to make it easier to whisk and make sure that you don't have any clumps when you're whisking your matcha. You're going to whisk your matcha either with a traditional matcha whisk, which you can get on places like Amazon, and I'll link for you in the description box, or you can just use a small, hand whisk. And really in a pinch, if you don't have either of those on hand, you can even use a fork. If you are using the traditional whisk, make sure you heat it in warm water before you start. When you first buy a matcha whisk, the tines are going to be all curled under. That's totally normal. And then as you use it a little bit more, those will kind of relax. The next step is you are going to cover the matcha powder with a little bit of boiling water. So about a tablespoon for your latte. And then it's time to whisk. You take your warm soaked matcha whisk and just start to gently whisk up and down. Depending on who you talk to, there are different ways to do this. You can make a W or an M shape while you whisk, or you can just sort of whisk gently up and down like I'm doing here. And you're just gonna whisk up and down. It takes about a minute, but once you get close, you'll notice that the matcha is starting to froth and make this really beautiful, vibrant green foam color, which is just obviously spectacular. Look, you can see already bubbles starting to form. Look how good that looks. And it's time to transfer it to your latte glass. So you're just gonna pour it in. If you wanna use any sweeteners, this is the time to add them. You can use maple syrup, you can use honey, even a sweetener like sugar will work here. You can set that aside, and now it's time to froth our milk. I use about a cup of milk per teaspoon of matcha. Turn that on. So now I'm going to heat the milk basically until it's just before boiling. So it starts to froth and it's starting to steam, but not actually boiling, because then the milk will start to cook and it's going to get all lumpy. So the milk is starting to froth and steam, so we're ready to go to the next step, which you can use this just like this for the lattes. You can just pour the hot milk in. It's still going to taste amazing. But I have a milk frother, which I'm going to use so you get that nice foam on the top of the latte. Put the hot milk in, like that. Okay, so I have my frothed milk. I'm gonna give it a little tap to sort of combine the foam and the liquid milk. I like to cheat too and, you know, give it a little stir, just to make sure that you do get some foam in the latte, because obviously that's the best part. Now I'm gonna add the milk to that previously whisked matcha, and then just make sure I get some foam. All right, now it's time for the best part, enjoying your matcha. It just tastes so good. You know it's healthy, but it's still super cozy, and you know, I think best of all, you made it yourself. So that's it. These are super fun to make, really fun to drink, and you can feel really good about drinking the matcha instead of your usual coffee. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and of course, if you're not already following me on Instagram, you can find me at A Side of Sweet. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.